You're listening to The Kelly Slusher Show with your host, Kelly Slusher.
Do you enjoy sipping on a warm cup of tea and
fireworks?
Come on down to TNT and Tea, Fireworks and Tea Lounge, pyrotechnics, and herbal tea blends. Comets, cones, cracklers, Darjeeling, peppermint, yerba mate, firecrackers, and M100s, chamomile lavender tea, Minds, matcha, missile, jasmine green, rockets, rooibos. And now until the end of August, we're offering a 5-ounce package of green gunpowder tea bags plus Roman candle or missile rocket set for only $14.99. Visit us today for a relaxing, explosive experience.
Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining me for my 51st podcast episode. And yay for me, I guess. I mean, last week I put out my 50th, and then I got this little hurrah, congratulations on your 50th episode from Podbean. I got a little badge, and that also, that the intro to that sketch I just did, it's pretty much every time I re-listen to it, I'm like, oh, that gives me anxiety. But it's funny. And the whole idea was just, what's funny? Things that don't go together, of course. And when you can fit those two things that don't go together, it's funny, right? So, and make it work. So I did make it work. I think that worked. So that idea came from TNT and Tea, came from visiting my mom and my dad in Arizona during the 4th of July season and going into the stores, and there was just like fireworks for sale, like in grocery stores, just like in the aisle. Like there was this huge display of it was like unbelievable. I'm like, I can't believe what I'm seeing right now, because nowhere where I've ever lived was that okay. It's called fires. That was crazy. And so it'd be like, not just like, there would be like, look like bottle rockets. It looked like big explosive things. It wasn't just like some little cute things. No, there was like, you could buy these huge packages. And then like surrounding it, you would be like on another, those big superstores. So it'd be like the TNT, and then like it's the middle of the aisle, and it's like, oh, and here's a bunch of, chocolates, and over here here's a bunch of plastic cups or whatever it was. Like they just nothing went together, so it made me laugh. I was like always laughing about that. I'm like, that's ridiculous. I can't believe you can buy this in a store. Well, I guess because it's a big desert, so I guess cactuses can catch on fire. I don't know. But so anyway, yeah, so I did that, and that was fun. And another thing, so, totally cool. No, I'm really proud of myself because I won a blue ribbon. Hurrah, hurrah for my peach pie. Hurrah for me, hurrah for me. Yeah, I won. I won. So, it's funny because there's this county fair here up in where I live, and I really like this fair. It's fun. It's especially at night, like the neon lights and the big evergreen trees, and it's so beautiful. I love that part. So one of my friends / mom kind of adopted me. Her name's Laurel. She always enters her quilts into the fair, and she always gets these blue ribbons, and so she's got all these blue ribbons around her house, and I was like, ooh, that'd be fun. I should enter a dessert, because I call myself a baker-tunist. Like, oh, look, that's an opportunity to bake. And someone had made this comment at this job I have, like how she was saying how she doesn't bake. She's like, I don't love baking. I'm just here because it's a job. And I was like, she's like, I don't do it outside of this job. And I'm like, I do, because I actually I love baking. And, it's like it's kind of the opposite for me. Like, well, I'm only here because it's not just a job, but I wanted to learn stuff. And so anyway, because for my hobby, one of my hobbies. So yeah, I'm a baker-tunist. So I saw it as an opportunity. I was going to enter my favorite little gluten-free cookies that I personally developed recipe for, but it took me way too long to figure them out and to develop this recipe because they taste like regular chocolate chip cookies. In a way, they're kind of better because they're a little chewier. But I didn't want to you had to give your ingredients list, and I didn't want to do that. So, and the other issue is it said, so Laurel, back to Laurel and the quilts, she handed me, when I was like, oh, that'd be interesting to maybe do some, some desserts. And she's like, hands me the competition handbook the next time I saw her. It's like, here. So I'm looking through the competition handbook and I'm seeing that in the baking, there's a bunch of divisions, and within those divisions, there's a ton of categories. And so I'm looking at a lot of it and going, and it says it also says one of the rules that you can't be a professional baker. And I'm like, well, I guess since I bake for a living, well, kind of, I bake at this job and it's, I make money doing it. So I guess that makes me a professional, especially if you're doing something over and over and over again. And I know the way to make a cake look really pretty and the whole frosting, decorating it with all the, and cupcakes and stuff like that. There's a bunch of stuff that I make there, like muffins, and I'm kind of a pro at all that stuff. So I'm a pro, but the one thing I wasn't a pro at, and still now I feel like I know it, but I never in that job have made pies. I made, no, that's not true. I make banana cream pie, I make coconut cream pie, and I make chocolate cream pie. That's pretty much the extent of the pies. I've also made tarts, but that's different. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do the peach pie because that to me seems like the most obvious, and the more people are probably competing with that. There's a lot of peaches in the area, so a lot of fresh peaches, and so I figured, that would be the most challenging. Never made one, and it's going to be the most, probably one of the, at least the pies are going to be really popular. So I challenged myself, and I made the pie. I called my mom, and I got her advice on the crust and all this stuff. And she's an amazing baker. My mom's an amazing baker. Grew up with an amazing baker, and so she's got some secrets to her pie crust. And so I took that, I wrote it down, took it, and I remembered, oh yeah, that's right, she made this, she does this and this. So then I decided to make it the showstopper. So I did the lattice. It was really hard. And then anyway, so I made it, dropped it off. And I feel like when I dropped it off, that was the funnest thing for me, because I was like, this is ridiculous. I can't believe I did this. I made the pie, followed through, dropped it off. And then it was it felt like the most wholesome thing. I just had this warm, fuzzy feeling in my heart. And it was just so sweet, to drop it off too. The people waiting, it was you could tell it was kids and volunteers. And, it's kind of fun sometimes when you can interact with people that you normally wouldn't interact with. And they definitely were taken a little bit by, what is that? The vibe. Someone like me, probably in my vibe, it's not if some, the certain people that drop their stuff off, I probably wasn't the person that they expected to see. And I was like, oh, I'm a pie. It was really cool. So so then I and then after that I was like, it is what it is. It's nothing. If I win, I win. If I don't, I doubt I'm going to win. I highly doubt I'm going to win. So I won. I went into see, I was like, I gotta go see. And I won. And I was really happy. And it's really cool. Okay. So the feeling I got after when I saw it, and I was like, oh, this is such a blessing, because my little, my internal world, I guess I needed that in a way, because I think about last year was such a hard year, and the year before that was really hard for me too. So these, my dad died, and then I also had to get these surgeries, and it was hard, and it was so, last year was so stressful, and now I'm oh, I'm to have that, like in that moment, I was like, aw, for myself, like, oh, it's been so hard, but look, this is amazing. So I was like all giddy. I was hanging out with some friends who, they went to the fair with me, and you have to go with fun friends, because if you go with people who don't want to have fun, it's really lame. They'll ruin the fair for you. So I went with fun friends, and they let me ham it up, Oh, I hammed it up. Oh boy, did I. It was so much fun. Like, I have this one friend that she just like, she really loves me, and like, she likes my personality, and like, she's, I don't know. We just like laugh the whole time. It was someone I used to work with, and, that was like, I don't know, that was kind of cool. 'Cause like, anyway, so that was really fun. I was like, I won. And so like, we were on top of the Ferris wheel, and I was like yelling out. 'Cause I mean, the thing about the fair is everyone's just in their own little like spastic world, and everyone's just doing their own thing. So it's like the one place where I can yell out and just be like, and be like really, like a kid, because no one, like, only one time someone like kind of looked at me like, what are you doing? And I was like, being weird. So I was like hollering from the, like, like the Ferris wheel, the very top, like it stops, and like, like it's like letting it go on the very top, and I just holler out to the whole, because I was like hovering over the entire fair, and I was like, award winner, blue ribbon winner, blue ribbon pie winner, right here. And of course, it's like no one can really hear me, but it was really funny. Yeah. Anyway, so that was fun. Okay, I want to also follow up on last episode. I talked about the phrogger thing, the phrogger, the vacation rental, and I thought there was a phrogger in there, and I'm not going to retell the story if you're interested in this, but I'm going to follow up on it. You can re-listen, get you to listen to my other previous podcast episodes, and I have 50 of them. That's hours of entertainment, really, because they're about half an hour each. Do the math. Anyway, so what happened was, I'm going to follow up. It's kind of, I'm not going to tell the story again because I don't want to, but I'm going to follow up. So I had to go back to the vacation rental because, okay, a little bit of the story. I work for this couple. They live like 3 hours away, and I kind of manage this little vacation rental for them. And it's one of my little it's a little hustle, and it's like 5 minutes from my house. So that's kind of easy too for me. Anyway, so this vacation rental, I thought there was someone squatting in the attic because there's all these like signs of it. Like either that or I've gone crazy, and I'm not the only one who saw stuff and heard stuff. So I got myself pretty freaked out. I didn't want to have to go back, but I had to turn over, and guests were like checking in one day and checked out one day and had to check in the next day. But then before the guests arrived, I had to drop off these boxes because I agree, she sent a bunch of supplies that I had to like go put into the vacation rental. So I had all these heavy boxes, like stupid stuff, like, like stuff I don't even like liquid Drano, and like just all this like really heavy, not even easy to carry. And so like so scared. I got myself so freaked out. And then like anyone I talked to about it, they kind of amplified it for me. So I had to drop boxes off at the vacation rental, and I was terrified because just, talking to too many people and watching too many scary things, and I was freaked out. And so, I had to go in there. It was empty, and I was like, okay, I think I announced, if anybody's in here, you need to leave. And so, I decided to put everything in like the supply closet, and I was just like, I had like my phone on me, and I was like scared, and I was like, I don't want this to be my last day alive. I'm scared because they're like attacking me. Anyway, so I was fine. But I had texted the lady. I was like, look, I'm freaked out. And so she was like, and then I get a text from her. She's like, the cops are on their way. I'm like, no, no, I don't want to deal with that. No, you don't pay me enough for me to have to like deal with like, I don't want to be there if they find somebody. I just don't want to do this. I'm just don't be traumatized. Like, so I come in, so I just like leave. And then, I get a text from her. She goes, it's all clear. There's no one there. There was no signs that they're up in the attic. But the thing is with the Froggers is the whole thing is to never leave a sign. You never let anybody know you're there. It's like a sociopath, it's just like, if you're that person, like that's gotta be sociopathic behavior to even be that secretive and creepy. I'm still convinced somebody was there. So, dishes in the sink, doors being opened that I had closed. I don't think it's a ghost. I don't think it was a ghost. So I wasn't like freaked out like ghost stuff. I was like, no, this is like human. Like this felt human to me. Could have been an alien. But I don't think aliens, use dishes. Who knows? So anyway, needless to say, it's all better. They're going to fix the back lock, which has been the problem. And they're also having like these bear issues. The bears, man, they're just like out there. But that's what happens when you're out and you don't live here. So anyway, I want to let you know, I'm fine. I was freaked out. Okay, so this is kind of funny. It's just kind of weird. So the night that I had to make my pie, it was a Sunday night and I had to drop it off on Monday morning at like noon or something. So I was like, okay, I'm doing it Sunday night. And Sunday nights are probably the most, it's at the end of this like crazy early weekend, hard jobs, hard 2 days that I have. And generally don't get a lot of sleep. And so by the time Sunday nights happen, I'm like, woo-hoo-hoo. But I've been getting better at just going out really tired and just being like, whatever, just gonna be tired, I guess, until this nightmare is over. So, I'm like, okay, so I go to the store. I had to go to the store. And I realized, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get something. No, for one, I was like, there's a couple things I needed to make it perfect. So I was like, okay, I got all the store. I'm so tired. So I'm going to go to Target. But then I was like, oh wait, I feel like I want to faint. That would be embarrassing. So then I like went to the store next door and I was like, okay, let's just take care of food. Got to eat. Okay, got to parent myself. The last time I ate was 8 o'clock in the morning. And now it's like 5 o'clock at night. And I think I had a muffin and a hard-boiled egg at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Eat. Like sometimes the food thing, I don't know why this happens, but I forget to put food in my body. So when I get really busy. Anyway, so I decided to go, oh, I gotta go to the store. So I went to the neighboring store. And I'm walking around and I noticed like this clerk lady is kind of like, she's kind of noticed me. She's kind of like looking around. I was like, why is the lady looking at me? Does she think I'm sus? Does she think I'm like, she's scoping me out? Like, I don't think I have that vibe. So I don't think so. Do my thing. So I got 3 things. Okay. And I was like, I went to leave and I'm still like needing to get a lot done. So I didn't want to, so anyway, I had to go through her line because she was the only one with no one in her line. And then she looks at me with this is how she sounded. She goes, this is an interesting combination. A snack, boop, a pizza, boop, and something to wash it down with, boop. And I was like, why are you commenting? I'm like, why is she talking to me that way? Why is she commenting on what I'm buying? Like, since when do clerks like have an opinion about that and like make fun of you? So I was like, I think she's definitely making fun of me. I don't know what her problem was with me because I just was there. I don't know. She must have not liked me for what reason she decided to make fun of me. She's probably just a mean person. Because honestly, you're mean if you make fun of people in their face. You're a mean person. There's no excuse for that. So, So anyway, I didn't know how to react to it. And I was like, what? And for one, but the joke's on her because like who washes down? So it was distilled vinegar. Okay, I didn't tell you that part. It was distilled vinegar. It was like something to wash it down with. And I'm like, who drinks distilled vinegar? And why are you commenting, lady? It was weird. But needless to say, I didn't pass out. And the frozen pizza was not very good. Larb. So I think larb, whenever I see that on menus, I'll get the larb. I believe it's Thai. The larb. I thought I've seen it on other menus too, like Ethiopian and Indian, but I'm not too sure. I don't think so. I think it's Thai. Larb. I know it's raw meat and spicy. So probably something I wouldn't eat, but I was thinking about Sizzler and how they had endless shrimp. They offered endless shrimp. Like how many? I'm going to eat so many shrimp. It's endless. Like, no, it is because you can only get so much out of the ocean. It's gross. Are they really? Anyway, so the thing about that is Sizzler is now going out of business slowly because they ruined their business by offering endless shrimp. Like, you don't give certain people endless options that actually are kind of expensive, and you have to have boundaries with some people. There are some people that will take full advantage, and you have to be like, no. So yeah, I think they're going out of business. It's last I heard because of their endless shrimp. Bad idea. So then I was thinking about endless stuff, and I was like, what about like endless larb? All you can eat larb. That'll really draw them in. All you can eat larb, spicy raw meat. Or what about endless baba ganoush on toast with yak butter? Endless baba ganoush on toast with yak butter. Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. Anyway, less attitude and more gratitude. Less attitude, more gratitude. Boo bapa doo bapa doo bapa doo. Boo bapa doo bapa doo bapa doo. You know something? I am not good at maintaining my social media stuff at all. It's gotten so much worse. It's bad now. Like is it bad? It's not necessarily bad. It's what it is. But it's kind of funny because I'll look back and be like, it's all business. I don't know. I've become less and less. Don't see me. Don't see me. Don't see me. I was getting like tea at work the other day, and I went like up front where like the barista was, and I was like standing like getting some hot water, and it's like, don't notice me. And she's like, it's kind of hard to not notice you. It's hard to not notice you. And I was like, don't see me. I used to like, yeah, I don't know. I go through these phases where I'm like, don't see me. Hey, look at me. I did this thing, but don't look at me. Look at me, but don't look at me. See what I did, but don't look. I don't know. I have so much going on in my inner thoughts and inner world that I feel like anytime I like try to post something to express that, it just doesn't relate. And it gets all convoluted from like all the electronical energy, you know. I'm like, oh, I'm playing in the woods and I'm going to put it on this electronical energy, you know, and all of a sudden it just transforms it. You put on this platform and it's got all this like weird energy on there, and then like it seems to just like corrupt it. And then I'm like, that's not what I was trying to express. That's not what I meant. I think I get a lot of satisfaction out of doing this podcast and sharing stuff. I can express that better. And I'm thinking, so in the fall, at the end of the year, so KUTZ Cuts Radio, I was doing an hour-long little DJ and this type of thing with the talking, the jokes. It's probably 2022. It's fun, but it was a lot. And it was only like broadcast to downtown Sacramento, and they've been working on extending their signal, and they just extended it. It's going to be extended by the end of the year. Really close, like not quite where I'm at, but pretty, their signal went vastly further, which is rad. That's kind of rad. So I was invited by somebody who's managing all that, and he said, hey, do you want to be part of this again? So they love me. And I think I might do it. It would be different. So I'd probably be doing the same talky podcasty stuff, but then at the end I'd probably be spinning, because you cannot put that music in between. I don't know. I'll figure out how to do it. That's like an hour long radio show podcasts once a week. I don't know about that, but it sounds so fun. But we'll see. The other thing is I have another story. This is like, I was going to tell the story last week, but like the Frogger story was like way more interesting. And I was like, oh, this story is not even interesting, but I'll tell it real quick because it's funny. So I had to get some new tires on my truck, and I knew I needed new tires, and I had been like kind of squirreling money away because it's kind of a more expensive purchase. And I was like, well, I want good ones. But what I didn't realize is, and it was in my mind. I knew I had to do it. I looked over at one of my front tires, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's zero tread on like part of it. And I'm like, that's really bad. So like I live on this like, I have this driveway, and it ends in like gravel and like dirt. And I was like literally like going down to the street, and I was like skidding all the way down because there was no traction on my tires. I was like, oh, that's why I'm skidding down to the street. And I was like, 911. How can we help you? I have no tread on my part of my tires. Help me. 911, emergency. So I called this local place. I know this doesn't sound like it'd be interesting, but it's funny. I promise. It's at least, it's stupid. It's like podcast story worthy. So I'll tell it real quick. So I called this local place, and they're like, I got I ordered the tires, and they're like, okay, well, we'll have them in this afternoon. Come on in, 4:15. So I go in there, 4:15, and the guy's like, oh, he's typing. He's like, yeah, he must have talked to headquarters because we don't have room in our schedule for you today. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Okay, no problem. No worries. I'll come back. He's like, okay, I'm going to Friday, 4:15. He pencils it down on his little schedule. And I was like, okay, I'll come back. Friday, 4:15 rolls around. Same guy. And he's like, yeah, you must have talked to headquarters because we don't have time for you on our schedule. And I was like, no, wait, stop. You said the exact same thing 2 days ago, and I've waited 2 days, and I'm driving on these bald tires. Can you please really? This is like, what? And he was like, well, it must not have been me. I'm like, yeah, it was you. Look, you wrote my name right there. He's like, oh yeah, that was me. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay, well, let me just see how bad your tires are. And I was like, and this is the most sassy I got with him. I go, well, that doesn't really, I was like, well, that's beside the point. I want tires. And so I showed him, I was like, look, bald. So I got a little sassy. That was the extent of my sass. And then he goes to book me. He's like, okay, I can get you in on Monday at 11. I was like, promise me that you will really do it this time, because I need these, and I will have to go to another place that can help me. And I'm not, I wasn't trying to be like, I'll take my business elsewhere. I'm like, I literally have to go. This has to happen if you keep doing this. And I usually go, there's this one place that I do go to, but it was like kind of far, and they don't have air conditioning, and you have to like wait for a long time. And I was like, I didn't want to do that. It's too hot. No. And my window of like opportunities to like even do this are just like few times. I mean, at least 2 or 3 days a week. Sometimes it's only 1 day a week. So anyway, I was like, okay. So, I'm like nervous. I'm like, oh, I hope I get these tires. Cause I had made a schedule to go out of town, like for a day, and like one of the days, like on a Tuesday. And so I was like, oh, I really want to do that. And so Monday rolls around, and And I was like, I walk in, it's 11 a.m. on Monday, and I'm nervous, so my energy is probably really strange. And I'm just like, hi, I have an appointment at 11. She's like, oh yes, I was expecting you. And I was like, oh, okay, it's getting weird. And then I was like, okay. And then she's like, I did hear that there was a problem. And I'm like, OMG. I was like, oh no, I don't have a problem. You guys, I'm like, yeah, this is my third time begging, like trying to get my tires put on. So she did that thing where she was like, almost like they're like a big note, like psycho, customer, you better like give it to her. She's gonna like, really rip our heads off. And I was like, oh my, I was being very straight and like, dude, please, that's the extent. I'm not a mean person, but I can be intense and like, do it. Do it. Or I gotta find another place. Okay. Just tell me if I have to wait 5 days. So she was like, yes. And so the whole time I was like, I'm a problem. I'm the problem person. It's like gaslighting me. Like, no, you guys didn't schedule me. So the whole time I was like, I'm a problem. I'm that person. I'm the person that's the problem. That like, I hear about these people. Like I hear about the crazy ladies and the stupid, like I hear about that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I'm a problem. So I left and, they took like a couple hours and I don't know, I came back, I had to wait and I was like, I feel like I'm that lady. They all think that I'm the crazy lady. But I wasn't a problem. They put my darn tires on. They're okay. They lost like my center hubcap. Like I had this little tiny little, like comes on and off and my rims. And now I got to go buy another one because it fell off. So it was all in all kind of a bad experience, but it was just funny. It was like, yeah, you must talk to headquarters. No, I didn't. I thought you were a little tiny place. Like, what do you mean headquarters? And then, yeah, it was funny. And what I really, really wish I would have said is the second time I should have been like, I'm tired of this. I'm just tired of it. It's like an old timer joke. It was like Abbott and Costello. It was like these comedians from like I don't know how long ago that was, the 40s, and their jokes. And there was this one where he was like I don't know, it was a tire joke, and he said, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. Will you please put my tires on? Thanks. But yeah. Anyway, that's it. I told you my stories. I had enough of them. And I will let you go. And thanks for enjoying listening. And yay, 51st podcast episode. And I won. All right. Talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.
Those type of things. 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 Those type of things.